Well, good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, whatever your current life situation is. Hello, YouTube. This is Jeffrey Kite back in with another episode of Kite's Curiosities. This is a little bit different episode tonight. This is a response video to a man named Paul who runs a YouTube channel called Vintage Sports Shack. Now, this ain't one where I'm going to be dissing and throwing dirt and shade and all that kind of stuff, but he posted a video on May the 6th entitled, "Don't Be Stupid, No Respect for the Sports Card Hobby." And he goes on and on. He goes on a big rant about how he has no respect for the sports trading card hobby. And there were so many points he made that instead of posting a long, rambling, typed up comment, I told him, I said, I think I'm going to make a response video to yours and hit all the points that I wanted to talk about, and you can watch it if you like. And he said, please do. He responded back, please do. So here it is. Everybody else, y'all can watch if you want to, but this is just a conversation between me and Paul. There's some things that we've hit on and things I think that we think a lot alike in. So if y'all don't mind, that's how this video is going to go. It's going to be me responding to Paul as if he were watching this. So, Paul, first off, you said you do not respect the sports trading card hobby anymore because of all the trimming, the cleaning, the soaking, and all these shenanigans that's going on. Man, I don't either, to be honest with you. It's just, when you're doing those things, to me, it's like you're altering the actual product or the thing that you're trying to pass off as an original collectible. You know, like if you had an antique toy or something and you took some paint and painted up where the little chips are and missing and stuff, you know, you need to tell people, hey, this has been restored. This is not like the pristine original thing that you got. But you know, this stuff, trimming, cleaning, trying to sneak around and get them higher grades on the cards when they go for grading, to me, that's fraud. That is just straight up fraud. And you and I are on the same page on that. You talked about how card companies are doing allocations with certain people to where they get all the good stuff and the rest of us flunkies, we just kind of have to get what crumbs we can get. And that's really, I mean, they can say it ain't happening all they want, but I mean, we watch these channels. I mean, all these loaded boxes and, ooh, buy into my break because, oh, we have such great luck of pulling all these one-of-ones and all this craziness and stuff. So that's killing the hobby because people are like, you know, one, I can't afford to get into something like that. Two, the odds are just so stacked against me to begin with, and it's just, I mean, people just don't even want to try. You talked about Jeff Wilson kind of pushing a $2,000 box of trading cards on a kid for his birthday. I tried to find that video because I wanted to see that for myself. You know, on one hand, when you're a businessman, it's, you know, make that money. You know, make that money. You just, at all costs, make that money. But on the other hand, if you're making that money and you are exploiting situations, that's just underhanded, like you said. I don't agree with that principle either. First of all, why is a mom buying a kid a $2,000 box of trading cards? Like, sheesh, you know. Could do so much more with that $2,000, but I don't know. Anyway, just, I mean, I ain't gonna tell nobody what to do with their money. I don't want them telling me what to do with mine. So, but I think it was the 5 minute and 36 second mark that really got you riled up. And I felt like you was talking to me, because a couple weeks ago, when the whole card cleaning fiasco and shenanigans was going on and first made light into the hobby there, I just simply asked in the comments of the video you had done on it, what is the difference between cleaning a comic book and pressing it? Because that's a common thing in the comic book hobby, clean and press, versus what people are doing with these trading cards. And because when I first saw it, I like to hear from both sides, and then I make my own mind up. And so it was intriguing to me, because it's like, in one hobby, it's preached and allowed and like, oh, you should do this. And then in this other hobby, in the comic book world, that's okay. In the trading card world, and I agree with you, that's not okay. And so, like I was talking about earlier, just, you're altering that medium. Whereas, and there was a gentleman that kind of helped shed light on this. When you clean and press a comic book, it's kind of like taking a piece of artwork. The art restoration people, they don't alter that piece of art, but they lightly get some of the dirt, dust, smoke, whatever, off of that canvas, and it's restored as best they can to what was original. And so, man, you got on me a little bit. You was like, don't be stupid, you comic book people. You had your Sharpie. You was poking at it like that. I was like, whoa, man, where's this coming from? So I agree with you. Trimming, cleaning, soaking cards, that's not cool. But, comic book people, when we get it, it's like restoring a piece of art. We're not altering that book, just trying to smooth it out and clean it up to make it and get it a little bit more presentable. So that was the big difference on that. And so I've only been collecting comics seriously for a year, so I was glad people helped me clarify that out. So you said, I hope I make you mad. I hope you pointing the Sharpie. You didn't make me mad. You ain't gonna make me mad, man. Because, I think we think a lot alike about a lot of things. I'm sure we think differently about some things and all, but like, life is too short to be mad. But I do hope you ruffle the feathers of these people that are just really taking advantage of people. Like you said it's time to clean up the hobby and get rid of these people calling cards, or any collectible for that matter, whether cards, comic books. Comic book world, it's crazy too, about like the trading cards, calling them investments. You don't get into collecting things and doing hobbies as an investment. You do it because it's fun. Am I right, Paul? You should do it because it's fun, because it's something you enjoy. I teach school, Paul. I teach special education, and I'm in a self-contained classroom with children that have emotional behavior disorders. And man, it is tough all day long. Some days they're rocking along doing really good, and then some days they come in and they just can't regulate those emotions, those feelings, just different things that are going on in their little bodies and in their little brains. And they are cussing me out, spitting on me, hitting, pushing, stomping, kicking. And you got to get them back. You got to get them back on track. And man, it's hard some days. And when I come home, I just want to enjoy my hobby for a little bit. After we get dinner cooked and help my daughter with some homework, I just want to kick back, look at some cards, write some letters to some people, send out for some autograph requests, read a comic book, something just to escape and get my mind back right from dealing with all the things that we deal with at school. But it's not an investment, like you said. It's for fun. And you went into that long synopsis about purchasing power. Man, you spot on, dude. Spot on. Money is not the same. 1980 prices and the way you could stretch a dollar back then is not the same as now, prices now, and how you can get the same things, that purchasing power for that dollar. That dollar don't stretch no more like it used to. And people are going to be in a world of hurt, man, when they start selling their collections, and we're headed for another junk wax crash like there was back in the early 90s and stuff. And us old timers, us old folks, I'm 46. I don't know how old you are, Paul, but I'm 46. And I remember that in the 90s when things just went and card shops started closing up, and just people weren't into it anymore. And it's going to get that way, and people are going to be in a world of hurt that have invested in things instead of buying savings bonds and getting retirement program going and retirement accounts and 401ks and putting money into that instead of these quick make money now cards that all these people are saying, oh, you can do this and that. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And the 949 mark, you said you don't respect the hobby because it seems like everyone wants to rip everyone else off. And I see it. With just some friends of mine that are memorabilia dealers and things. That greed has destroyed a lot of friendships. It's destroyed, a lot of relationships, and with just different people, and just it's sad. It really is sad. You gave a list of people that you respect. Hopefully, Paul, after this video, you'll respect me. I mean, sorry if I ruffled your feathers with the whole comic book cleaning thing, but the reason why I brought that up is I'm seeing these two worlds merge. And where I get that from is CGC. They're this big comic book grading company. They're probably the biggest. They would be what PSA is to sports cards. The biggest, most prominent name. Well, they've hooked up with JSA, James Spence Authentication, to authenticate autographed comic books. So when they hooked up together, I called my buddy that's a sports memorabilia dealer, and I mentioned this to him, and he said, funny you tell me this, because a lot of the comic book guys have been coming to me asking about grading, asking about authentication, asking about different things and what they should do, and if I want to get in on that. And he told me, Jeff, I'm like, no, that's not a world that I'm real familiar in. And as with any business, you can lose your butt real quick if you start dabbling in stuff nothing about. And so that's where I got that from. And I'm seeing these worlds converge, and I wonder, Paul, if this cleaning and soaking and trimming and all this stuff, if these sports card guys are getting that from the comic book guys who are cleaning and pressing comics, but they're not altering the comic books. But these sports card guys are, and they're thinking maybe, well, it's okay in the comic book world. Certainly no harm, no foul in the sports card world. So anyway, that's just where my mind went with that. So be interested. I'm gonna leave the comments open, Paul. So feel free to comment and respond back. If you want to make a response video to this one, that'll be good. Just whatever you want to do, man. And to everybody else that's watching this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. Till next time, we'll see y'all later. Now, have a good one. You too, Paul. Take care now. Good night.